Welcome to Accounting in Focus.
Hi, this is Jeff Ingram. I'm coming to you with another basic WordPress self-hosting video for bloggers. Just trying to make it easier for bloggers to host their own WordPress site and see some of the advantages. As you can see today, I'm logged into my non-production website, or actually my wife's non-production website. And I want to talk to you today about an important topic, how to use WordPress or potentially other ways to achieve caching your website. Essentially, to explain it in non-technical terms, the best way to think about caching is almost like taking like screenshots of your pages once they've been created. The advantage of this is it helps speed up the access to your website, and that is a very good thing. Essentially, if your website loads slow, people might give up on it. They might leave your site. They might not think it's very good or want to go back often. Web performance is a top concern of web developers because you don't want to lose traffic. And a good way to do that is caching. And as you see, there are several caches. There are several good caches. I've tried out a few of these. The current one I like the most is W3 Total Cache. And I've not played around in this one in a while, so there could be some changes. Let's go check it out together. Now I'm going to give a caveat going forward. Once you install and activate a cache plugin and turn it on, you're going to want to make sure that if you install new plugins or you are making major changes to your site, I would temporarily deactivate the cache plugin to make sure that all of those pictures that are created of your website, all of the HTML that gets stored is updated. There are multiple ways to do this, and here's one. First of all, you notice once I install this plugin, it actually adds a new section in. That's one of the things I like about this plugin. It's easy to access. It's a lot of settings, a lot of things that you can go through and make edits for if you want to spend time becoming involved. And then there are other things. You can make it easier, let's just say, on yourself if you use this plugin, because where there are a lot of different things, and they'll offer you some premium services here, things that might make your site faster. That is the purpose. They're trying to sell you some goods because they deliver a good product, and they're hoping you'll buy some more. General settings is the main tag here, and here you can toggle all the caching on and off. You can preview the cache. And once again, there's nothing magical about the cache, because essentially what happens is if you do a request to a website, you go up, and on a typical WordPress site or most dynamic sites, if they're not cached, what will happen is they'll go all the way up to the web server. This PHP, essentially this will render HTML and JavaScript and deliver it down into the client browser, and that slows things down. And it uses your bandwidth, so if you don't have unlimited bandwidth, you'll use a little bit more bandwidth. And so these are some ways you can go through and make things better. And here are some of the features I like here. I like the page cache. I haven't really played around much with this. I usually leave most of the default settings, to be honest. Minification. And I would suggest, if you're doing this for real too, add in one step. Make sure it doesn't crash your site, because caching, because it's making pictures of stuff, could potentially cause problems. And in my next video, I'll show you what to do in case there are problems with this or another plugin that make your WordPress site crash. However, you can also minify. your HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Essentially, it just delivers a little bit smaller. The smaller amount of data that gets delivered through a web request, the faster it goes. Minification is a good thing. So we're going to enable minification. We're going to leave all the defaults here. And actually, I want to go CSS tidy and HTML tidy. And I want to leave that alone. Leave that automatic and just set. And the reason I don't show you the website first is there's really nothing on this website. I'm not going to really set anything more, but you can enable database caching. Once again, just all caching does is it makes things quicker. CDN, I forgot about those, which is a bad thing. You shouldn't really forget about CDNs. You can actually set up CDN accounts, which are essentially locations around the world that will store your cache, and you can set up times for when your cache gets updated. You can use Cloudflare, which is almost it's really an accelerator for your website. It works pretty good. I had some issues when I tried it out before. Basically, it blew up on me, to be honest, and I believe they were attacked and their servers went down. And because Cloudflare was down, my websites couldn't be accessed, even though my hosting was up, and I had to turn it off. And I've never really turned it back on. I might look into them again. It's another great idea to help speed up the delivery. Because think about this, if I'm Jeff Ingram here in Connecticut and I'm downloading from your blog, which is, let's say your servers are in Texas, I send a request, it bounces across a bunch of nodes in the internet. I then have the information rendered into HTML because your web page isn't cached, and then it has to go back through a bunch of nodes to get to me in Connecticut. And what Cloudflare and CDNs do are they put your cache all over the world, so it will seem even faster to me. And once again, I've never used the monitoring feature here. I've actually never used the reversed proxy. That's something I might have to look into to find out some more about. Essentially, I believe the licensing is if you get the pro version of this, there must be some upgrade. I wouldn't be surprised. And someday, when I start making money on the web, I might actually use this. Miscellaneous are just some other gadgets that go onto your dashboard. Excuse me. And these are all just some basic features. This is pretty much where most people want to go. When you get this down, you can actually come to places like your page cache, and you can get very specific on what you want to do, what you don't want to do. I highly advise not using this option, until you're comfortable. If you don't know what categories mean, there is so much stuff. I could spend hours going over each of these things in detail. There's so much information here. But go through, set your general settings. If you're unsure, don't do it. Most of the stuff here is pretty safe. But especially once you start coming back onto these other pages, where it gets into more detail, cache feed, site, category, tags, comments, you want to cache those things. And sometimes they'll give you their own recommendations. Like here, they'll say, hey, even if you use a service like FeedBurner, still do this. Because the cache does update. It's just not going to be as instantaneous as it would be if you didn't cache. So one thing, when you make changes, they won't flow through to your website quite as quickly. They should, like if you do a post or something like that. But your cache will get set up, and it'll only happen every so often, which is a good thing. Especially if you're set up more like a website. But it'll tell you, hey, search results and similar pages will be cached if enabled. A lot of things are just good things to go through. Not super important. Like I said, for most bloggers, really, the settings you're going to play with here, if you're really looking for some more speed, going to minify, database captioning, all these things can bring you more speed. CDNs especially can really help your website seem more professional, seem better. And another trick of the trade, if you make some posts and you want to make sure things are updated, you can just empty out your cache, empty out your minify cache, and it will force the cache to re-go. So once again, in short, make your website faster, use Total Cache. In my next video, I will show you what to do if Total Cache or any other plugin ever destroys your website. It can happen. You install a very old plugin that's could literally break WordPress. And when you're self-hosted, that's something you have to deal with. So in my next video, I will show you how to deal with that. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you will share this video. I hope you will like it, comment on it, and give me many questions that you want to know, and I will try and get to them. I hope you enjoy your blogging. Please use our links below if you finally decided to cross into the realm of blogging in a self-hosted setting. And I hope you look forward to more of these in the future.